This video is for assignment 1 and it is the effects lifestyle has on health and well-being by Bethany Basford. So in this video blog I'm going to talk about the main lifestyle factors and how they affect everyone's health. The first one that I'm talking about today is physical activity. So there are many problems with not doing enough physical activity, such as cardiovascular and joint problems. Anyone who lives with a sedentary lifestyle costs the economy and the NHS £17.5 billion a year, which is a lot of money just because people don't do exercise. I'm going to talk about the physical activity guidelines for each of the age groups. So, for the under 5s, toddlers should do at least 3 hours of exercise a day, and babies should spend a certain amount of time throughout the day on their tummies, using their surroundings to remove themselves. They should do light exercise, which could include walking, active playing or swimming. The main thing for them is that they are enjoying themselves because they won't want to do it for long periods of time otherwise. So now for the 5 to 18 year olds. So for this age range, they should do at least 1 hour of exercise a day. And 3 days a week, this should be for muscles or vigorous exercises. They should work on the 3 core areas, which are moderate, vigorous and muscular. So moderate is things such as cycling, rollerblading and walking. Vigorous is things like dancing, gymnastics or martial arts. And finally muscular is things like tug of war, rugby and sit-up and press-ups. For the 19 to 64 year olds, so this age range should be doing 1 hour and 50 minutes of vigorous aerobic activities and 2.5 hours of moderate aerobic activity. So this includes things as the same, but also including stuff like tennis, cutting the grass and hiking. So for the 64 plus range, it does depend on how their well-being is. So they are the same 4 core areas as the 19 to 64 year olds with the same basic needs, but it should also be doing things like water aerobics. So now I'm going to talk about the benefits of physical activity, which can both be long and short term. Okay, so you have a 50% lower risk of getting colon cancer and type 2 diabetes, 30% lower risk of an earlier death that is planned for you. You also have 30% lower risk of mental health such as dementia and depression, as exercise has been proven to create more endorphins, making you happier, which will also boost your self-esteem, so it's quite good. And on a more serious note, you will have up to 35% lower risk of coronary heart disease or a stroke, and breast cancer will be lower by 20%. So Mike Hobday, who was the Director of Policies at the British Heart Foundation, said that it is both the young and old alike that need to start moving more, and it is a serious public health concern. So now I'm going to talk about alcohol consumption. Per week, both men and women are only supposed to drink 14 units of alcohol. Women have always been 14, but men have just been lowered down from 21. Alcohol can have a very serious effect on a person and has been known to destroy families, which is why it is so serious. The main problem with alcohol is that it doesn't seem like much whilst you're drinking it. Also, if you binge drink, most people believe that it's better for you as you're not drinking regularly. This is a fallacy. As your body is not able to deal with the alcohol, it's not used to it basically, and you're overloading your system, making your body dehydrated. This is the reason you feel so sick in the morning, which is known as a hangover. So hangovers occur because you're dehydrated, which is not only your body but also your brain. If you are severely hydrated, which can happen, you can be left with permanent brain damage. So excessive drinking for both men and women, is 35 units per week. Seems like a lot, doesn't it? But put that into terms of alcohol, for example, wine. It's half a bottle a day, which many people can and do drink on a regular basis. So now I'm going to talk about the risks that are associated with excessive drinking. The short-term effects include high blood pressure, which 1 in 3 adults have due to alcohol, disturbed sleep, and when you get to the long-term effects, it gets more serious and in some cases irreversible. It can lead to many things such as a stroke or heart attack, hypertension, which is abnormally high blood pressure, seizures due to low blood sugar levels, and cirrhosis, which is a liver disease. All of these are life-threatening if not spotted soon enough, which is why 6,490 people died due to alcohol in 2012. Sadly, these numbers keep rising, with approximately 45,290 under 20-year-olds admitted to hospital in 2014 because of alcohol. Now I'm going to talk about mental health and alcohol, such as depression. This is due to alcohol having a visible effect on your body, such as a strong acidic smell and spots/spoils around the faces, especially in the mouths. It can also slow down your brain functions, making you fall over more often, which is a loss of balance, making you more self-conscious in yourself. The rates of women being killed by alcohol is soaring due to the availability and the low cost of wine. Paired with the pressures of running a home and working, it makes them stressed, which is what I'm going to talk about next. Stress is a very serious health risk because it is the least noticeable with people, automatically assuming some other reason beforehand. Many people don't want to admit they're stressed. They see it as some kind of weakness, which is odd. I'm now going to talk about the health risks associated with stress. The short-term health risks include smoking and drinking more, changing your eating habits, whether that is binge eating or skipping meals. It can lead to headaches, feeling sick, whereas the long-term effects include hypertension, stroke or heart attack. But it can lead to some less known ones, such as stomach ulcers, which are known as either crushing or curling, although stress normally creates curling as they are created by the brain suffering a serious injury. And finally, angina, which is when you get bad pains in your chest due to your heart's blood supply being restricted. So there are 4 different areas that stress can come from, which are internal stressors, the things we think about, external stressors, things around us, personal factors, people we share our lives with, such as family or friends, and occupational factors, the people we work with. The TNC General Secretary John Monks said that Britain's long hours culture is a national disgrace as it leads to stress, ill health and family strains. So now I'm going to talk about the health risks of smoking, which is a big thing in Britain with 10 million adults smoking right now. Many people don't believe that smoking is bad for you, but the nicotine within cigarettes is just as addictive as heroin and just as dangerous. The short-term effects include a loss of appetite as it stops the craving of food, which can lead to an eating disorder, a weakened immune system, and what is known as the smoker's face, which means your skin is dry and has lost its elasticity. If you carry it on, it can lead to a dull or great colouring to your skin and wrinkles. Then we have the long-term effects, which includes coronary heart disease, lung cancer or lung infections, and a very high white blood cell count. It has also been known to create emphysema, which happens within the tiny sacs in our lungs. Even though the brain still has some changes, which was found by Michael Koha, who said that those who smoke have anomalies in their brains due to chemical changes. And finally, I'm going to talk about diet. Nutrients can be put into 7 different groups under 2 headings, which are micro and macro. So firstly, I'm going to start with macro, which is the larger nutrients such as carbohydrates, proteins and fats. Whereas micro is vitamins, fibres, minerals and water. These define a healthy, balanced diet. Take one out and your body isn't getting the right things. It needs all of them. A healthy, balanced diet is very beneficial because it's been known to control weight, which can help your self-esteem, improve your mood. It can combat diseases as diet has been known to prevent or manage a wide range of health problems, from diabetes to types of cancer. It can also boost your energy, as your body is getting the nutrients and calories it needs to survive. So now I'm going to talk about the effects your body can get if you have poor nutrition, which includes high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, which is where your body is creating too much insulin for the food that you're eating, and gout, which is where the uric acid builds up, resulting in crystals forming within your joints. It can lead to permanent joint damage. It has also been found to cause some types of cancer, such as bladder and breast, because of the refined sugars and nitrates within these foods. The recommended guidelines surrounding a good diet is known as the Eat Well plate, which is what your day-to-day meals should contain. So 33% of a meal should be fruit and veg, 33% should be starchy foods, which is things such as rice or breads, 15% is any dairy products, 7% is sweets and fats, and 12% is meat and fish. There is new research coming out about so-called fat genes, which essentially means they're more likely to put on weight and not be able to work it off again. Eliza Speliots, who led the research, has discussed that with such a large number of genes at play, why would one solution work? We can now use genetic clues to defeat obesity forever. Thank you for taking the time to watch my blog, and I hope it helps you.